Solo travel versus group travel. Why does solo travel win? My name is Victoria Rose. I was born a solo traveller. My mission is to shine a light on the joys of solo travel for older women. My very first solo travel adventure happened at just 18 years of age when I travelled around Europe for 2 years. My latest epic trek happened in August of 2018, and this is how that turned out. I backpacked solo for 16 months through 10 countries at 68 years old. This is just some of the countries I backpacked through. In this video, we look at 3 major travel issues for older women, group and solo travel comparisons, and a bonus. Are we at cow yet? But first, the views expressed in this video are entirely my own, formed from over 7 decades of living and learning. You are invited to express your views, gained from your own life experiences. If you choose to comment on my views or others' comments, do so in a way that allows others the right to their views. It serves no one to oppress or ridicule the life experience of another. Please support, not suppress. I am old at 74 years of age. Of course I'm old, but I'm not obsolete. There is absolutely no way that I would change what I now hold in my head and in my heart. They're way more valuable than youth. Okay, what are these major travel issues? Some getting older facts of life can become major travel issues, and we will look at only 3. Are there more than 3? Yes, I believe these are 3 of the most important travel issues when you are looking at deciding between group travel and solo travel. We will also look at other women, older women's opinions, the comments that they have made. The main thing is, whatever you are going through as an older woman, please absolutely know, without a shadow of a doubt, you are not alone. And here we look at our first older woman. What major issues do you think we could be looking at now with the next few comments? Martha at 74 says, I often feel suddenly exhausted. What used to be second nature now feels like an effort. Then we've got Kaz, who's 77. I'm getting slower and forget things, but I'm just grateful I've got this far. Sam at 63. I'm finding I'm staying tired longer. Do you identify with that? Then we've got Alice at 65. I get frustrated with my inability to move like I once did. I feel like I'm grieving for the loss of my youth. Did you guess what those women were talking about? I have always had really high energy. But there's no doubt that although it hasn't got up and gone, it ain't what it used to be. So how are your energy levels as you find you are getting older? It can be a huge issue when you've spent a lot of money on your group travel outing and you find that you cannot keep up the pace. Something like this. Energy, it's a big issue. Strict timings to eat, getting up at 5 a.m. to catch the coach, rushed into pre-chosen retail outlets, not the ones you'd actually rather go to, stuck with the same group of people, stuck with the same itinerary. You know, in my view, now remember, I am biased, I was born a solo traveller. In my view, solo travel beats anything here for conserving energy as you are now, not having to live up to other people's standards and other people's timetables. Here's for example, Vietnam, Hui's Forbidden City. This has been observed. An average group tour, they're in and out in under 60 minutes. As a solo traveller, we have this one person who took 4 hours to wander around. I will say right now, I am not a rush in and rush out type of person. The last time I did that was as an 18-year-old when I went to Europe. I joined one of those tours and I swore then I would never ever do it again because I saw, let's just say, 50 places and remembered 5. And here's a comment from Lynn. Lynn is 57 years old. The fact I don't have to do anything I don't want to do fills me with joy. So tell me, would you vote for solo travel under energy? Or are you now saying, no, Victoria, you've got it wrong. Group travel is much better. Please tell me why you think group travel is much better at older women, we as older women, being able to keep up with our energy levels. I am a leadership trainer. For over 3 decades, I've trained military personnel, business and private participants on how to lead. And the bottom line is, in every single workshop was showing them how to lead their own life, because until they do that, they cannot lead others. Our second major travel issue. Yes. And in those leadership training sessions and workshops, it all started with mindset. I'm remembering now, shows how old I am, but we've already established I am old. You might know of the American positive thinking guru who had many great sayings. And one of the sayings that came into my mind right now, get a checkup from the neck up. It's quite clever, really, isn't it? So get a checkup from the neck up if you cannot control. So with the energy, yes, that's part of your mindset as well, saying, oh, I can't be bothered and, oh, I'm too tired and just deciding before you've even attempted to move your body that is going to be too hard for you. The mindset is critical in how you approach your holiday, whether it's a group travel or it's that solo travel. And here's another great saying from Franklin D. Roosevelt. Men are not prisoners of fate, but only prisoners of their own mind. Another getting older fact is becoming rigid in our thinking, of having our mind set in stone, even when presented with evidence that what we believed as absolute true actually was not true. The prison door of our mind stays slammed shut until the day we die. How we've set our mind, what we believe about life, what we're capable of, what we deserve, totally impacts your experience, whether you're on group travel or solo travel. Let's look now at some of the mindsets, some of the beliefs about life that other older women have. Linda, 67 years old. Life doesn't let you really relax until you get old. Oh my gosh, that's a long time to wait to relax. Do you agree with that? What do you think? Then we've got Anne. I focus on what I can do and what I have. I try to get rid of the negative thoughts as soon as I recognize them. Do you do that? Then we look at Lucy 65. The most important thing is don't just sit. If you don't use it, you really will lose it. I believe that. Her mother, my mother, is 87 and does a minimum of 10,000 steps a day. Go, Mum. Then we have Celia, 77. Life is what you make it, no matter how old you are. Anne, 86. I have an attitude of gratitude. Makes my day easier. Well, she finds that it makes her day easier. Then Gloria, 73, says, as long as you stop to smell the roses, you'll be okay. We've gone through what a number of older women believe is true for them. Another very important part of mindset, and which you'll find a lot of our children, our kids, other people, friends say about older women. Here we go. Are we at cow yet? Of course, you do know what cow means, right? It's a crabby old woman. Why do we become crabby as when we get older? Now, of course, we're not all like that, but I have to say that I have noticed I have moments where I recognize I'm being crabby, I'm being grumpy. No one wants to be around you. The only people that will stay with you when you're being crabby, when you're being grumpy, are other crabby old women. The other ones who, if they are staying with you, is they're just putting up with you. But tell me, why, as we grow older, do we find that a lot of women, perhaps not you, but a lot of other women, perhaps not your mother, get crabby? Well, one of the reasons is that they never achieved their dreams. What they had thought they would like to do, they have not achieved that. And that can cause anger and resentment. There are other reasons, and of course we could take the entire video talking about these other reasons, but here are some. Increased pain. So the rheumatism comes in, we've had a fall, which normally in our younger years we'd spring back from, but no, this has caused us, it's been a tragedy for our enjoyment of life. Reduced mobility, reduced flexibility, reduced visibility. Now that's in our ability to see and in the ability for others to see us. I'm a very colourful dresser and I love colours. And so I dare anyone to not see me. But that is a common complaint from older women, perhaps not you, but older women, is that they have become invisible and reduced value, that they have no more purpose, no more meaning to life. And the other tragic thing, which happens every single day, is we get up in the morning and we look in the mirror and we see the stranger in the mirror. I would like to share with you right now my mother's story. So my mother was an absolute cow. Sounds awful saying that, doesn't it? But as she grew older, she became more bitter, more angry, more resentful. And it was very, very difficult. I'm the eldest of 5. It was very difficult to phone Mum and to be with her because of how she was. And the reason I just want to share with you a little bit about my mum. She's no longer with us. I hope she's happier where she is now, because she has not been happy for absolute decades before she died. But my mother said to me one day, because of her attitude, her crabbiness, her vitriol, we had another family member who decided she would never ever pop around and see my mother with her children ever again. And when my mother told me this, and I thought, being a leadership trainer, I have to be careful. Well, I wanted to find out, I wanted to see if she understood that it wasn't all my cousin's fault, that she needed to take some accountability for the way that it has turned out, a situation where she's lonely, and bitter and not nice. So I asked her, I said, Mum, have you thought about how you've contributed to what happened? And this is when my mother said these famous words, which I'll never forget. I am who I am. They can like it or they can lump it. The tragedy is nearly everyone in her life lumped it. I'm not going to end my life like that. When something's happened, on reflection, I say to myself, well, did I act like a child or did I act like an adult? Did I use my decades of life experience, my dignity, my wisdom to work through what just happened? And if I didn't, I have learnt to say sorry and to mean sorry. How do you feel about being a cow? Of course, you're not a cow, of course. Let's find out what other older women think about being a cow. Mary Rose at 66 says, embrace your inner grump. I'm with you, Mary Rose. The comparison, solo travel versus group travel, when we're looking at the irritability that can rise up within us for those reasons I've stated and a whole lot more, what is actually better, solo travel or group travel? Well, solo travel, group travel, one must think, if I am extra irritable, how do I reduce the friction? How do I find time to smell the roses? Quite frankly, in my view, solo travel is the one that wins. How to not be irritated by noisy, nosy others, and how to arrive home not completely exhausted. To prove the benefits of mindset, let's see what Beatrice has to say. I look about 70 and have a 61-year-old boyfriend, crazy in love with me. We're getting married. How old is Beatrice? She is 84. Go you, Beatrice. And what is our third major travel issue? You can see it's freedom. As older women, are we ready for freedom yet? Let's find out what Lynn says. Lynn is 68. After so many years of people-pleasing and putting others' needs before my own, it took some getting used to. But I'm there now, and it feels great. Many women have devoted their life to caring for others. There was not a lot of time for self-discovery, for having choices beyond the needs of family, friends, and colleagues. This is my view of freedom. We're traveling, and it's freedom to stay another night or 2 nights. It's freedom to go and not stay longer. It's freedom to choose which shops we want to go into. It's freedom to linger longer at dinner or linger longer in bed in the morning. It's freedom to eat what we want to eat when we want to eat, to sleep. It's freedom to make mistakes, to explore, to soak up the environment. It's freedom to learn what we need to learn and to love fully and completely that which interests us and we wish to experience. I think you know what's coming next, right? In the comparisons, It's fairly obvious that group travel has to stick to those strict timetables, to the rushing in and rushing out, to get everything in that was promised when you first paid the money for your group travel. This is why I much prefer solo travel, because freedom is vital to how I live my life. Freedom to be as creative as you want to be. Freedom to take accountability for your life. I am the person I've been waiting for. Yes, when I was younger. I hate to admit this, but I was waiting for my knight in shining armour. I'm the one wearing the armour now, but I'm not talking about armour around my heart. I'm talking about a beautiful blue light. You see, the beautiful thing about being this age is you can make up your own mind what's important to you and what direction do you take in life. I'm totally with Deneki here. I swim, ski, hike the Camino Trail. I learn piano, study Spanish, volunteer, connect with friends. Deneki, she is 85 years old. Go you, my hero. You can't help getting older, but you don't have to get old. George Burns. So I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, you were pretty darn biased, Victoria. You will have your opinions, your comments around the joys of group travel, and please share them, because I'm pretty sure you won't be the only one. Now, if you want to learn more about what life is like as a solo traveller, the thrills and the chills, or you're already a seasoned solo traveller, regardless, please check out this video next.